are issues in the society that many movie producers neglect, of which many other producers are trying to bring to the members of the public, that such a thing or this kind of things do happen in the society. At first, I didn't want to watch this movie because of the adverts that was being, the very adverts we saw or I saw. It wasn't appealing to me. But I know the saying that don't judge a book by its cover. So I had to like see what the movie is all about. And I felt literally, so I felt for Sonia Uche in this movie. Sonia Uche is a girl who lived with the father Kofi Ajerolo. Yes, and we have Sonia Uche, we have James Gardiner, and we have Obu Johnson. It's a movie that's streaming on Sonia Uche TV. This very movie is very educational, very informative, and very it has some humors in it. Well, we are not after the humor, but the lesson that this story is packed with. At first, we didn't understand what Sonia Uche was making advances by that advert that was the trailer advert. The advances was so much that how can a woman be making an advance to a man? But we all had to see the reason behind this advance, sexual advance made to Gardiner James. What resulted to this? It was as a result of rape. You see, rape story is a constant thing in the society. And I love the fact that Sonia Uche takes her time to address situations that happen in the society. A situation whereby you address, I keep saying it on my channel, that as much as there are a lot of stories to write as tell, there are also menace, there are also problems that the society face that producers in the Nollywood should concentrate on telling the society. Sonia Uche is one person that I've known that can. Then Uchenna Bonabotu is another producer, and then Uchenasi that tells the societal problem on the screen. And this kudos, a very big kudos to Sonia Uche on this very movie. I really must confess, because she delivered her line so well. I wouldn't say much about this movie. I'll leave it to you to go see it. It talks about rape in the sense that a girl who is living with the father alone, like that is why I started that divorce is very bad in upbringing of a child, because it will adversely affect every aspect of that child's training. It is very important that parents co-train or bring up a child together. But I'm not saying that it is a bad thing for a single parents to train, because I wouldn't know reason that made each party to separate or divorce, except in life-threatening situations beyond what anyone can control. Then you training the child as a single person, how well do you train the child? I would really give kudos to Kofi. Let's say 70% of my kudos goes to him. Why? Because he tried as much as possible to understand his daughter. Yes, to understand his daughter. Even when Sonia Uche was trying to behave abnormally, he noticed those abnormalities in Sonia Uche, but he couldn't pinpoint what actually was wrong with his daughter. And I also blame Sonia Uche to the extent that you kept making advances to men without confiding in your father. I would say maybe it's because he's an opposite, maybe he's not a female. A girl child confides more in a mother than the father. So I would give you some credits in that area, because I would say, I was saying to myself while I was watching it, if it was the mother, she would have confided in the mother. That was why I didn't flog you in that area, because why on earth wouldn't you tell your father before it's you know, you went before the situation got out of hand. You should have told, you should have confided. The father and Sonia Uche bonded in this movie. It's not like they are not bonding. They are friends. They play together. They play Ludo. They play games together. So there was this connection between these two. So there was no reason for you to have hidden anything from your father. He would have, and he's a very caring man who is very sensitive, notices everything. So it was quite unlike Sonia Uche. Like, I was so angry with her that why this situation would not have gotten this far. You should have told your father a long time ago. He would have stepped into the situation rather than lying up and down just to get, you know, I wouldn't blame her. She was raped, and then, yes, I don't want to say everything about this movie. Sonia Uche was raped, and not that she was raped by his boyfriend. This same boy, she also had a history of rape. I think that was where the whole thing triggered. The history of rape helped that very rape again, the second rape. It triggered the early stage, and that made her to have excessive libido, constantly demanding and wishing for sex all the time from men. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a child boy, whether you're a young boy, whether you are her age mate, whether you're a small boy, whether you're an old man, it doesn't matter. All she needed was satisfaction. And I think it was a medical condition. And at the end of the day, they discovered the reason behind it. They traced it down to the roots that it because of rape. She had to open up later after the situation had gone bad. That was my anger at Sonia Uche on this movie. But seriously, I will tell you that she displayed every aspect of this movie in excellence. In fact, I give it a 90% over 100. This movie is it's a must-see for every home, every parent, every girl child. There are girl child faces this problem every day. Okay, I will narrate a story of my colleague. Her case is quite opposite of what we saw, but her case was a case of rape. This rape, she was raped, and at the end of the day, she hated man. Her own case was opposite. She hated man. She doesn't want to associate with man in her entire life. And I think this is the very one that is rampant. A situation whereby one is being raped, and the person will hate any kind of romantic feelings for any man. They will hate a man in their entire life. It will take like kind of a therapy and training and kind of constant talking before they can open up again. But in this case, this girl hated, I know her very well, she hated man. Anything man is disgusts her. It was later I got to know that she was raped, and then she confided in a lady. And that lady, when she confided in that lady, how did we even know? She didn't tell me. She didn't tell us. She confided in her friend to come pick her up from where she was raped, because she was raped beyond recognition. So she was in pain. The person wasn't even after her phone. The person left her phone to her and everything. But so she was able to call her friend, who later came to pick her to the hospital. And after thorough check and everything, how did we now know? She and this her friend, later on, after some years, they had problem. That was how this her friend began to tell everybody that this girl is a raped victim. And it really was traumatizing. But at the same time, that was how we got to know. It became so obvious to me because I was very close to her. But anything that concerns a man is completely after her. She's so no. It's a no-go area. And I say, okay, this is right. Why this lady doesn't like a man? I can't confront her because she never told me the story. I only got to know through someone else. So this story about rape is a constant thing that happens in the society. And I must say thank you to Sonia Uche for bringing this up. This is a situation. This one that happened to Sonia Uche is a kind of direct opposite to the one I know. There are other problems like that. They will constantly be demanding sex, like here and there. There is a root problem that will cause it, and until you trace it, you may not be able to discover. So, and this tracing it will help such an individual. So every individual in this, or any individual in the society, or especially godchild that is going through this, please don't judge them. Something may have happened, something may have triggered that libido to be happening, that constant a request for sex to be happening. Something may have triggered it, and that is what's happened. The Sonia Uche's case was later discovered because she later confessed to her dad, who later had to help. Then a friend who is customer that always come to patronize her fruit business. Yes, she's a fruit seller. I don't want to go into all the details, so you go there, see it. Later helped out, and it happens that yes, it was a medical condition that has to do with a lot of things, and the doctor had to step in to help Sonia Uche get over this problem. There are people out there that cannot be able to get over this problem if you don't step in. So let us know if those people around us have this problem, and then we can know how to help them resolve this problem. So it's a societal problem, and I love this movie. At first I didn't want to watch, and secondly I said I wasn't going to be doing all the movie review, but this very one really got me. Beyond Control is the name, so please go see it. This is a must watch for every family, every girl child, anyone you see in the society, especially young teenagers. Please don't be deceived by boyfriend, girlfriend, and the rest of that. Sonia Uche wasn't bad in the beginning. She was not a bad girl. She was only influenced and raped, and that made her to become as though she's a bad girl, but she wasn't. Beyond Control, still streaming on Sonia Uche TV. The cast and crew delivered their lines excellent. The father played an excellent role. Thank you so much. Yes, he was an observant, sensitive man, caring and loving, who was very protective of his daughter. I can't tell you much of this. You have to go by yourself to Sonia Uche TV and watch it. Beyond Control is the name. Thank you. Please drop the aspect of this movie that you love most. Till I come again, I'm just Wijili.